A very good morning, children. This is Sonia Verma, your SST teacher from Springfields Public School. I hope you are doing fine, children, and also taking good care of yourself, and also doing your work side by side and learning all your SST questions also. So, last time, children, we had started chapter 4 State Government of Civics. We had seen how the state legislature is formed, Vidhan Sabha, Vidhan Parishad, how the members they form the state legislature. Now, today, we are going to do their function, and their function is the making of laws. So, on page number 33, we are going to start our next topic from Bill to Act. It means that how the draft of the law it goes on to become an act or a law. So, as you already know, children, that in the center we have the parliament, the Lok Sabha, and the Rajya Sabha who make the laws for the whole country. But in the state, we have the Vidhan Sabha and the Vidhan Parishad, the legislative assembly and the legislative council, which you can see in the picture in case of a bicameral legislature, and if only a unicameral legislature is there, then only the legislative assembly they make the laws, and those laws they are applicable only in that particular state. So what is the process of making a law? The bill or the draft of the proposed law is introduced either in the Legislative Assembly or in the Legislative Council of the state. So, first of all, the bill is introduced. So, children, first let me tell you that there are two different types of bills. First is the ordinary bill, and second is the money bill. If it is an ordinary bill, it can be introduced either of the two houses, but a money bill can only be introduced only in the legislative assembly. So after the introduction of the bill in the house, it is discussed and are made if necessary, and then it is put to vote. After the voting, if the bill is passed, it is sent to the governor for his signature, and after the signature of the governor, that particular bill it becomes an act or a law. So now we are going to continue with our next topic, that is the state functionaries. First we are going to study about is the governor. So the governor is the nominal head of the executive. Nominal means that he is the head only in name. He does not have any real power of the head. The real power, the real head of the state is the chief minister. So the president he appoints the governor. He can remove him at any time, and he can also extend his term also. The governor appoints the chief minister and other ministers, and also the chairperson and other members of the State Public Service Commission and the advocate general also. There are other functions also which are performed by the governor, which are that the first session of the state legislature is opened with the address of the governor. The governor he can call uh, the session of the state legislature at any time. He can also address the state legislature at any time. If the minister requests, if he suggests, the governor can dissolve the assembly also. On certain occasions, when the state legislature is not in session, then the governor he can issue orders which are known as ordinances. The money bill cannot be introduced in the legislative assembly without the approval of the governor. The governor also has the power to grant pardon and suspend or reduce a sentence passed by the court under state laws. There are certain Discretionary powers also which the governor has. Discretionary means which he can take at his own will. He or she can make some decisions without consulting the Council of Ministers. If the ruling government has lost the confidence of the Legislative Assembly or the government machinery has broken down, the governor can recommend president's rule in the state. In such cases, the governor runs the state administration on the instructions of the president. Now let us come to the next functionary of the state, that is the chief minister. In India, every state runs its own rules and regulations. Every state executive has a governor and council of ministers. They are headed by the chief minister. In the state, the position of the chief minister is similar to the position of the prime minister at the center. The chief minister is appointed by the governor. He or she is the leader of the majority party in that state. The chief minister is also the leader of the legislature, as his or her party holds the majority position. No person can be appointed as a minister without the will of the chief minister. So the chief minister has different functions. One of the functions is that he advises the governor on the selection of the council of ministers and its size. He presides over cabinet meetings. He distributes portfolios among ministers. Portfolios are the different departments. To appoint a deputy chief minister if the need is there, that is also the function of the chief minister. The chief minister can retain the charge of some portfolios, some departments, if he feels the need. As the head of the state legislature and the council of ministers, the chief minister holds the responsibility for the government of the state. If a vote of no confidence against the government is passed in the assembly, as you can see nowadays, something which is about to happen in Rajasthan, a vote of no confidence is going to take place. If the vote of no confidence is passed, the whole ministry has to resign. It is the responsibility of the chief minister to maintain good relations with the central government. So you see, if the chief minister is not there, the council of ministers also has to resign. So that is all for today, children. Next time we will start with council of ministers, which different ministers are there, how they are chosen, what work they do. Your homework will be to write down the given questions, start learning them, and also to read the chapter. Thank you. Have a nice day.